in the Harambee Stars game versus Senegal. We shall be discussing about that game in the ongoing African Cup of Nations, which is happening in Egypt, Cairo. A big task for Harambee Stars, second runners-up in the group, or will we wait for the third best losers in the group? So keep it interacting with us through our SMS line number 21144. Remember to also watch this episode of Sports Sugu and the rest of the Sports Sugu videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is GBS TV Kenya. To help me discuss all these stories, my panel just in time for the discussion, whereby we are going to be playing against Senegal tonight. Timothy, how are you feeling about today's game?
I've always been optimistic about Harambee Stars. I was optimistic last time. I'll still be optimistic this time.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us today. Okay, let's say our usual suspect, but has been on a long missing in action.
Yes.
So welcome back, Desire.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank you for giving me this platform again. I was in Egypt to support our boys in the
So why did you choose to return and we have a big match tonight?
Because our next game against Senegal, which is today, is 70 out of 30%.
Okay, so
I'm passionate about being a Kenyan, but today's game will put me on a scale.
okay, so viewer, remember many emotions running through the Kenyan fans, and also everyone is expecting this game, different opinions, and here at Sports Sugu we shall be giving you those opinions right from our panel. So guys, we are also going to be discussing about the ongoing 2019 Women's World Cup happening in France, whereby we saw the host nation being bundled out by a very resilient USA. We are also going to be discussing about the semi-finals of the Copa America, whereby interesting clashes. Brazil facing Argentina. It's a match you don't want to lose. But first of all, let's discuss about the Kenya game against Senegal. So, Timo, a very good match to be looked out for tonight.
One of the best matches.
One of the best matches that, leave alone the Tanzania game that we were anticipating. So we are having quite good matches tonight, but the standout for us, it's all about Harambee Stars and Senegal. So considering on how we played last time against Taiva Stars, what do you think we need to change in this game, coming to this game?
Yeah, I was discussing with my fellow panelists here about the squad for today, and I won't be surprised if they use the same squad they used last time against Tanzania, of which it's a good process. Not starting Avire, not starting Joanna, it's a very good task because it will help the team. Because if you look at the Tanzanian match, Avire came in and changed the whole game, like everything changed. So he went to attacking, he was the only attacking striker. Then Joanna came in midfield. So I let them to do and just press. But there is a likelihood that it's not that I'm wishing for him to be substituted, but if it was my choice, I'd substitute Wanyama.
Wanyama. Works on
According to what he played during Tanzania and Algeria, he's not giving us the joy.
He's not fit to that best level. So Desire, having Josh or Nyango returning to the squad, do you think it's a boost? And who do you see replacing him there at the back?
Yes, having Josh back to the squad is an advantage to us, and it's a boost to our squad. But you know, like a final to us, we can't risk. Maybe he's not 100% fit for the game, and you know, there's that fitness for the game. He hasn't played for the last 2 matches. He has returned to training, I think, yesterday. So he's not 100% fit. You can't risk. Maybe he can enter the game. Maybe he's a good player, but you know, you can enter him in the 30th minute, the injury comes back, and then we lose our substitutes. So if I could advise the coach, Josh just to remain as a substitute, and we'll figure out maybe if we score a goal, and we can bring him on to help us defend the goal. But having him to start the game, that's a no for me.
Okay, Desire, looking at the previous match that we played against Taifa Stars, we saw the set piece coming to the rescue of Kenya. So is that something that Kenya should take with the utmost seriousness?
Yes, yeah, that's an advantage to us. But you know, we looked at Taifa Stars, and they're not good at aerial balls. But this is Senegal. They have tall players.
The likes of Koulibaly.
Yes, they have those big players. So having set piece wouldn't be much of an advantage to us. And Senegal, at another hand, is a fast playing team. They use speeds. Our flanks, the left backs and the right backs of our team are not that fast. So that's the place they will look for. And long balls, Kenyans are not good in long balls, as we saw in the first match. Yes, so that's the thing that they will use to attack us. Maybe the coach at the training has been working on that. Let's see today. Maybe it will work out to our advantage.
Okay, Timothy, we said you said that the last time Wanyama didn't play well in the midfield. We also saw another midfielder struggling. That is Francis Kahata.
Yes.
So with the coach assessment and substituting him against Algeria, he managed to play 45 minutes. But against Tanzania, we saw substitute 29th minute. So with the coach making critical decisions by substituting him, do you think he's going to start him in today's lineup?
According to how his fitness is, I don't think he'll be among the 11 players who are going to start. He's a good player. That's obvious. He's going to be after the halftime, just to come and help to build the team in a stronger way if we score a goal. And I'll be considering that if he enters, it's a good will. But he's not going to be among the
do you think the coach will do the way he did with Johanna, bringing him in the second half minute, whereby we saw a lot of impact from him?
Yeah, I think he'll do that, but he's not going to portray what Johanna portrayed. Johanna is
they are both two different players.
According to me, to the contrary, I like Ahata to start the game. You know why? Senegal is a fast playing team. They are at an upper hand to this game than us. We are going at this game as the underdogs. So Senegal will be attacking in numbers, and we need someone to put the passes through. And the only person who can put those magical passes.
But we've not seen Kahata doing what we are expecting.
This is a tournament, man. This is a tournament. Those are 2 games.
But we can't wait. You know, if you are a top player, we can't wait for you to get fit.
Yes, you know, you can't wait, but you know, like Messi did, like we saw in Copa America, Messi didn't shine in the first 2 games, but shined later. Kahata is a top-class player. So you go to a game or
do you think with the links transfer rumors that are going on that Simba of Tanzania are following keenly on him, is that not playing a part in Kahata's mind, distracting him?
It's playing maybe it could, but I don't think so, because in training people have major things to do than concentrating on.
And remember, if Simba comes calling, you know it's big money.
Yeah, it's big money, yes. But you know, at the training, you have, you know, there are people around you. Yeah, they don't want that thing to impact your mind. So Kahata is a good player. Let him start the game. When Senegal attack us in big numbers, we have someone to fix the passes, and we have, on the flanks we have quick players who we can get them on the counter. So, but when we start Kahata on the bench, you know, we will just go that game like defending a game to look for a draw. But we need to score a goal.
We saw what Olunga can do.
Yeah.
We saw the bicycle kick he scored. He showed us the top-class striker he is, and why many teams should come in search of him, because he has that ability to hold the ball and also to score the ball, to score goals.
Sure.
So going into this match, do you think Minye should go play alongside him, play Avire alongside him?
No. What I think of Olunga should be a number 1, the only number 9. We should play Olunga as the only striker forward. At the back,
but we saw the impact when Avere came. We saw the wingers Masika and Eric Marcelo were flowing everywhere.
Yes, that is that we go to a game according to the tactics of our opponent. The tactics of Tanzania are not a fast playing team. These are tactics of Senegal that are a fast playing team. We start 2 strikers. You know, at the back we have a default of
We
one
have a
player.
loop, yeah.
Yeah, so let's start maybe a 4-5-1, which will help you when we are defending. We defend in numbers. When we attack, you know, we have a clinical striker up there who can score goals.
So we are defending in numbers and also returning in numbers. Let's listen to what Minye had to say in the press conference before tonight's match.
There are so many qualities, not only physically. The career of almost all the players in the team, technically they are there also. They are maybe one of the best players in the year this season with Sadio Mane. So we know it will be difficult, but it's a privilege for us to be there, to be able to compete against this kind of team. And I already told you, but we have nothing to lose tomorrow. It's only a pleasure.
True, it's been long since we've been here in this AFCON, 15 years. And pretty much every player, it's his first tournament, actually. So, yeah, I'm very happy to play a small part in the last game to score a goal, but we were very happy for the victory. So, about the fans, yeah, they are encouraging us. They're telling us everything is possible, which we believe it's possible. And we are excited also for tomorrow.
Okay, so my panel, you've heard what Sebastian had to say ahead of tonight's game. He's saying it's a tough game, but we must be ready. Also, Omolo speaking there and telling us one of the outstanding players who really played very well in the previous game, saying that the fans should be behind them.
Yeah.
So, Desire, do you think tonight's match is a tough one?
Yes, tonight's match is a very tough game for us. You know, as I said earlier, Senegal is ranked the first in Africa. Yeah? So all the pressure will be on them. They need to score a goal. They need to win the game. Yeah? They have top class players, the likes of Mane. So they just need to win the game. So that will work to our advantage. They have pressure on themselves. We just calm down as players and we play our game and we beat them to their own tactics.
Okay, so Timothy, your final maybe sentiments about tonight's game against Senegal.
Let's just be optimistic. Let's just play a good game. We are able to win the game. And as I said last time, people didn't think that we would win against Tanzania. But we have showed that we deserve to be there. We deserve to be at the pool table. And yes, let's just wait for today.
Okay, so tough match today for Kenyans. All hopes on you guys playing there in Egypt, whereby if we win today, we get to qualify for the first time in many years, that is 15 years, in the African Cup of Nations. Remember some of the teams that are through to the round of 16, whereby we are having Nigeria, the host nation, Egypt, and also Uganda booking, and surprisingly Madagascar also surprising Nigeria, that is during the weekend. So those are some of the teams that have qualified on the ongoing Total African Cup of Nations happening in Egypt. So viewer, don't go too far. We'll be right back after this short break.
Ukuraini Wakulima Dairy brings you tasty, fresh and creamy Royal products. Get Royal yogurt in strawberry and vanilla flavors, Royal Lala, Royal Fresh Whole Milk and the Royal Long Life Milk at affordable prices. The Royal taste of freshness is all your family needs.
everywhere. GBS.
Welcome back, viewer. Remember, our SMS line number is 21144. So keep it interacting with us. They say what a man can do, a woman can do more better, if I may put it so. My panel.
It's just better.
Okay, so the ongoing Women's World Cup happening in France, whereby we saw the host nations being knocked out of their quarterfinals by USA 2-1. We also saw Netherlands turning Italy 2-0, setting up mouth-watering clashes, that is in the semi-final, whereby we are going to be having USA versus England. So, viewer, Desire.
Yeah.
USA playing against England. We know USA is a good team. Looking at their record coming into this competition, they are the defending champions of the Women's World Cup. So facing a very good Phil Neville side that is England, any chances of England managing to battle themselves out of this game?
That is a very tough match, England versus USA. But according to me, I think USA will qualify, will beat England to the game, because I think USA have something, they are doing better than what England is doing, because we've seen the last games against USA. The last game, we saw England versus Cameroon, which was a more controversial game.
Controversial game, yeah.
But
and
USA,
the case is still ongoing.
USA, maybe yesterday's game against France was a little bit controversial, but I think USA has a better game than England. So I like to put my money on USA.
Okay, so looking into this Women's World Cup, so far so good. Have you seen anyone that your team can sign? Your club can sign. That is Manchester City.
You know, Manchester City, we are in another level.
So
like we were ranked, if you may not know, we are ranked the best team.
Okay, so these are, I know when we start there, we can go on and on.
So
I'm just asking, so far so good. Have you spotted any player that you can be signed in Manchester City?
We could sign Rapinde to have us to be substitute, but not qualify for the first 11.
Okay, so as we saw, many of the women's in these teams can fit in the likes of Arsenal and Manchester United.
For sure.
So it's quite a worry to see women playing better than...
And scoring crackers.
And scoring good goals.
Yeah.
So I think the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City, Manchester United need these women more.
Their transfer managers should look at something. They should up their game. Yeah. Okay,
Timothy. another quarter-final game that really was mouth-watering. Yeah. That was Netherlands playing against the Azuris, the Italy. So what's your take on that game? And so far so good. How has Netherlands impressed you in this competition?
Yeah, because for first things first, as in the Netherlands, I've never seen them dominating as they did. And I'm really glad as to how they played, because they played a really good game, a mind game, of which Italy has been known for football and
especially defending.
Yes, but for Netherlands, if you look, I'm not comparing them with the men's side, but if you look at the men's side, they're also good.
I think this is the year for Netherlands. In terms of football.
Yeah, but they should look out also for USA. USA, give me USA any day, any time. Yeah.
And why are we not seeing the same when it comes to men?
What a man can do?
A woman can do more better.
Thank you.
Quite interesting sentiments from you. So we said the host nation France being bundled out by USA. Did you expect this from the US team?
No, I did not expect that. It was a huge shock, and I'd say that until the last minute. The thing is, teams don't regard that. The last minute is usually crucial.
More crucial.
Yeah. And you need to regard it because anything can happen. It's either an own goal, it's either a corner, it's either a penalty, anything can happen. Manchester United won against PSG at the last minute. Let me just mention Manchester United.
I know, you can't go without mentioning the name.
Yeah.
Despite signing, I mean, I'd say the world-class player, but signing the likes of Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka, they are not players that can be ranked as best players.
They are good players. Where is Arsenal? I'm thinking, where is Arsenal?
They're just players like Phil Foden and the likes of Reece Nelson. I don't see them at a big...
Mentioning Phil Foden, you are like biting me a
Underrated.
little bit. You know, Phil Foden was ranked out of 100 best potential player was ranked 9th. I guess
So
you
the
didn't
likes
know
of
about
Wan
that.
Bissaka and
Wan
Daniel.
Bissaka is a good player. Daniel James are not for me.
So it's a lose for Manchester. Is it a hit or a miss for Manchester?
in case-
But for Wan Bissaka, I think they got a good player. If I was Guardiola, I could just go for Wan Bissaka.
But if it's for
Okay.
Arsenal, if Aubameyang goes, you need Alex Morgan.
Alex Morgan. So we also seen that Rashford. Let's just touch a little bit about that Manchester United, because we've touched about it. We are seeing Rashford being given a 300,000 contract worth.
Yeah,
Is it good for him? Is it a big boost for him, or is it too much money?
It's a 5-year contract, but it should not get into his head.
Because the only player, a big player we've seen being paid that such amount of money is the likes of Mesut Ozil, the likes of Pogba.
Yeah.
So is it much pressure for him to handle, especially at a big club like Manchester?
It's a big pressure for him, because the one who was getting a lot of money was Alexis Sanchez. But now, because of speculation that he may be going, it remains Marcus Rashford. But it should not get into his head that he's being paid well, so he's supposed to relax and he's supposed to look at himself like Paul Scholes. Even though he was getting a lot of money, he should just play
his game.
Yeah.
Okay, so viewer, remember those two matches that we are talking about. That is the Women's World Cup semi-finals. Good matches to watch out for and see what these women are doing, and maybe, and also the other teams, the men's teams, can look out for women that they are going to sign, because the men are really disappointing us. We are also having the Copa America, which is ongoing in Brazil, and the host nations are through to the semi-finals, setting up a good clash against Argentina. Desire.
Yeah.
Brazil, Argentina.
Brazil,
Coming into
Argentina.
this competition with the two first games that Argentina played, hatukuwa tunaona wakienda pahali.
Yes, no
All of
saw
a
it
sudden
coming.
tunaona Argentina in the semi-finals.
Yes, no one saw it coming, but you know Argentina is a good team, yeah. You know, the semi-final against Brazil, I'm a Brazil supporter, number one supporter, but I'm also a Messi fan. You know, Messi has been criticized for not winning an international cup with this country. So to this, my Brazil fans should just bear with me, but I'll support Argentina in this one. Yeah.
Okay, we saw the two goals that they scored against Venezuela. We saw them coming from Aguero. We didn't see any Messi doing any.
Yes,
Aguero played a key part in both of those games. So where is this Messi that you are telling us?
But you know,
he's not
you know,
been seen in any of the games.
That's a question that is not very hard to answer, because if the like of Harambee Stars could play against Argentina, we could have man-marked Messi.
That's true.
Yeah. So Venezuela knew Messi is a very good player. You give him a chance, he'll score a hat-trick against you. So they man-marked Messi.
So what you're trying to say is when players mark Messi, we won't see Messi, the Messi game.
It depends on the time and age.
He's a goat.
He's a greatest of all time.
He's supposed to do what a top player can do,
But let's
despite
say
being marked.
Messi was just on a football leave, but he's in the field. But let's watch him. And
He was recovering from your.
he was recovering, but let's see him at the match against Brazil.
Okay, so we saw Aguero started to shine out maybe in this game against Venezuela. He's the top player. Why is he not doing what he does in Manchester City?
No. Aguero didn't shine on the last game. He shined even on the second game. I think he scored a goal.
He scored a goal, but he's not at that level we see him at Manchester City.
That's why I'm talking of tactics. In Man City, you have Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, all behind you.
So it's all about who you play with.
Who you play with.
Timo.
Yeah.
We're also having a good semi-final setup, that is Chile versus Peru. I know Alexis Sanchez is here, but he managed to.
Who's the top scorer?
He managed to reach here because of penalties. I know he's the top scorer.
Yeah, penalties or goal is a goal.
Uh-huh.
Penalty or no penalty. He's doing, actually, to be honest, he's playing so well in his country than he's doing in Manchester United. Let me just agree on that. But he's a Manchester United player. And for me, it's Chile. this round is Chile. I'm not talking about Manchester United. I'm talking football. For me, it's Chile anytime because they did a good thing winning the other cup, and they are doing a good thing in progressing in this one. So if they qualify and meet up against, because I'm watching for Brazil, and meet up with Brazil, I want them to win. I want Chile to win.
In all the four teams, I think Brazil qualified with penalties.
Argentina is the only team that qualified
with real football. Peru qualified with Suarez missing a penalty for his team. I think even Chile qualified with penalties.
I don't actually Sanchez is the one who scored the decisive penalty.
Why are you attacking?
No, it's the truth. So sticking to Chile and Sanchez, to be specific, is he worth to be in Manchester United? We've seen a glimpse of what he can do with Chile.
I'll pass.
Has he returned to his best form? Desire, if you could help him.
In country, yes. In country, yes. But in Manchester United, no.
Has Sanchez returned to his form?
Sanchez has always been in his best form, but in Manchester United is a best player, but in a wrong team.
So we are attacking each other here.
Because we saw who Sanchez is when he was in Arsenal. Even though Arsenal were not performing well, but we saw what Sanchez could do. You bought him, you pay him good money, but he can't play. Why?
Okay, we are seeing many of the teams, as we have said.
For Sane.
Why?
Why is he being speculated to go to Bayern?
Because he's a top player.
Because he's a top player, and because the person who replaced him on that number is a top player, Bernardo Silva. Is now the third rank to win the Ballon d'Or.
That's true. For Bernardo Silva,
we've seen quite interesting happenings in the Copa America, whereby many teams are not conceding goals, particularly Colombia not conceding any goal until the last minute, whereby they were eliminated through penalties. Does it mean that there are some teams that are improving, like the likes of Colombia? What's your take on this?
Colombia, it's a good player considering they have James Rodriguez, Radamel Falcao. It's a really good team, but they are coming up, but James Rodriguez has been having a lot of problems.
We get into that segment, viewer, that we call where you invest your money, where you put your money right and get the fruits of the outcome. And this panel over here, they have a big task to help me. That is the prediction center, where it all gets fired up, whereby you, the viewer, get to choose whom to trust with your money. So very good clashes happening both in the AFCON qualifications. We are dealing specifically with the AFCON games. We're having good games tonight despite the Kenya and Senegal game, whereby we are having South Africa versus Morocco, Namibia and Ivory Coast, and Tanzania and Algeria. Timo,
I think
we already know what the fate of Kenya and Senegal. So what's your prediction on that?
Do we already know?
Okay, so I'm saying, according to our previous discussion,
okay.
we've already looted for Harambee Stars to win this game.
Yes.
Do you still stand with that, or do you want to give your prediction?
I still stand.
Okay, so Tanzania versus Algeria, good match. Our neighbors, we thrashed them. Do you think Algeria will take this opportunity to qualify with 9 points?
The funny part is Algeria have nothing to lose. They're in there for points. They're not in there to proceed or anything. They've already proceeded.
Okay.
So for TZ, they need a miracle. Here, they need a miracle.
They need a miracle. So you see what?
Algeria.
A scoreline, which scoreline?
2-0.
2-0 in favor of Tanzania.
Let me be my neighbor.
Okay, so another good game whereby we are seeing South Africa playing against Morocco.
South Africa versus Morocco. I'll go for Morocco. South Africa has not been on its
Has
best.
not really proven, despite the good...
but I see Morocco winning that game 1-0.
1-0
Yeah.
in favor of Morocco.
Yes.
Okay, also another interesting clash whereby we're having Namibia playing against Ivory Coast, the elephants. These elephants of Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast, 100%. Namibia.
But we've seen how Ivory Coast were outplayed by Morocco.
Morocco is a top class team. Morocco is a top 5.
But we've seen the underdogs rising to the occasion in this competition.
But you know the last.
If Nigeria were crushed by an island, that is Madagascar, despite a country,
because
Namibia.
Nigeria were 100% sure they would qualify. But you know, the Ivory Coast versus Namibia, Namibia is a lesser team comparing to Ivory Coast. I'm not saying that Namibia can't win, but to this one, Ivory Coast to
Ivory
win.
Coast.
Yeah.
And do you think the atmosphere there won't help Namibia because they are used to these temperatures? The desert temperatures.
The players have been in Egypt for around 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Now
It's been long.
They have all adapted.
Yeah. But this
so
is football,
you'll put your money on the Ivory Coast.
I'll put my money on Ivory Coast. 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Good matches being played tonight, including the Kenya versus Senegal game, which will be happening tonight. That is 10 p.m. East African time. It's a match whereby all our viewers here back at Kenya, all the supporters should turn out in numbers, even if we are not going to go to Egypt. Let's rally behind our team, and we hope for all the best to qualify in the round of 16. Good matches also to look out for, including our neighbors Tanzania playing against Algeria. So remember, here at Sports Sugu, we shall be giving you the feedback of all the matches that will happen, and also the Copa America and the Women's World Cup, which is ongoing in Egypt. So my guests, thank you very much for joining me today, and we hope the best for Harambee Stars.
Yeah.
Amen.
Okay, so viewer, until next time, this has been Sports Sugu for you.